K-pop, jeans, Coca-Cola. North Korea bans a lot of things. Go ahead, name something. It's probably banned. Citizens must even pick their haircut from a list of government-approved styles. And no, you're not allowed to pick the same haircut as the glorious leader. But banning Choco Pies? This might be a new low. The chocolatey dessert has become such a taboo that South Korean activists have been sending them across the border on balloons in the hopes of causing a political revolution. Yet, just like the marshmallowy goodness within, there's a lot more to these pies once we scratch below the sugary surface. So, why is North Korea at war with dessert? To unravel this mystery, let's start with the obvious question. What is a Choco Pie? To put it simply, it's a popular snack treat that you get in a box at a convenience store. A layer of fluffy marshmallow sandwiched between two cookies, then coated in milk chocolate. A classic confectionery concoction. Americans might know these goodies as moon pies, whereas some other countries recognize them as wagon wheels. In truth, these are all slightly different forms of the same idea. But the Choco Pie, as the South Koreans know it, was created in the 1970s when a Korean businessman was inspired by first tasting one at an American hotel. Yet, the American concoction isn't the main reason North Korea is fed up with this delicious dessert. You see, despite the constant threat of war, occasionally North and South Korea embark on partnerships to facilitate more peace. One such joint venture was the Kaesong Industrial Complex, a set of factories owned by South Koreans but located inside North Korea. The Kaesong Industrial Complex opened its doors in 2004, a mere 10 kilometers north of the Korean demilitarized zone. At first, it was considered a win-win political move. For the South, they were able to employ cheap Korean-speaking labor. For the North, they got a much-needed source of foreign investment. The result was over 52,000 North Korean workers now earning around $100 a month. However, the South Korean factory owners were not allowed to give cash bonuses to their North Korean workers. In fact, they weren't allowed to compensate overtime work whatsoever. This was seen as a gesture of capitalism in the eyes of the Kim dynasty. No way they were going to let some factory workers be treated to the good life. So, the factory owners gifted them the next best thing. You guessed it, Choco Pies. An employee worthy of such a delicious bounty would receive around a dozen a day, which could be shared with friends or family. Sometimes they got up to 20, which meant quite a lot of pies were leaving the factory doors. To the factory owners, a gift of a run-of-the-mill cookie was the least they could do. To the North, it slowly became sabotage. North Korea's black market ballooned. Customers were reportedly buying and selling Choco Pies for over 4 times the price. According to reports from China and South Korea, monthly sales of the illegal snack at its peak hit 2.5 million Choco Pies. That's a lot of dough. Get it? Dough? Cookie dough? Money? Okay, forget it. The point is, Choco Pies were such a hit that even North Korean soldiers preferred to be bribed with them instead of cash. But the real problem was the taste. No, not the chocolate taste. The taste of freedom. The Choco Pie's popularity amongst starving citizens actually risked increasing the number of potential escapes. In fact, one North Korean defector famously requested a Choco Pie just hours after escaping the country as he laid in a South Korean hospital. In response, the Choco Pie manufacturers, Orion, gifted him a lifetime supply. Another escapee told BBC News of operations that involved cartel-like smuggling rings moving Choco Pies across the Chinese border. And that's just the start. Initially, North Korea tried to cut the addiction off at the source by demanding the factory owners change how they rewarded workers. Sausages, instant noodles, powdered coffee, but none of them stuck. That quickly changed in 2014 when the North Korean government formally banned Choco Pies. Now, things were officially serious. The propaganda machine told residents that Choco Pies were harmful to the body, which, to be fair, is partly true. They are certainly harmful to the waistline. But the irony is, by cutting off citizens from their much-loved treat, they only strengthened the cravings. Soon, there were attempts by the government to replace the foreign dessert by creating their own North Korean knockoff. Even the packaging was virtually identical. Sources in Pyongyang shortly afterwards started telling outside media that their own Choco Pies were so good that smugglers were no longer even interested in selling the South Korean version. But given Kim Jong-un's track record of, questionable claims, we might never know the full truth. One thing is for certain though, North Korea didn't want to admit they might be losing a war against pie. A year after the initial government crackdown, South Korean activists sent 10,000 Choco Pies on balloons over the border. Although sending DVDs and political pamphlets are still the backbone of sparking political revolution, it seems there's still a special place for Choco Pies in North Korean hearts and stomachs. No doubt North Korea were right to view the treats as an ideological weapon. However, time will tell how long the Choco Pie remains an effective tool of diplomacy. But perhaps this story's ending doesn't need to be so bitter. Perhaps this isn't about politics, but commonality between humans. Humans who have a sweet tooth for some sugary goodness. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.